And welcome to the Redmen TV. It's daily news time. 3 main stories today. Actually 4. Let's go with 4. We're going to talk about James Rodriguez. We're going to talk about Lucas Leiva's contract situation. We're going to mention a little bit about Philippe Coutinho because that news is resurfaced. And finally, Inaki Williams to Liverpool. So I'm going to start with James Rodriguez. Willem Balaguer came out. What was it now? Guillem Balaguer, sorry, came out 10 days ago and said that Liverpool are interested. Now, I've got a quote here. Of course they are interested, but they aren't the only one. Liverpool are realistic, and I think they realise James is looking for a different type of team. Now, this morning, Don Ballon have moved this story forward and are reporting that it's now only a 2-horse race. Liverpool aren't one of those teams. It's Manchester United and Arsenal. Well, I don't really understand why Liverpool aren't out of this. Now, I'm going to try and keep my opinions out of this. I really want yours, whether Liverpool should be looking for James Rodriguez and should be stretching to try and go and get James Rodriguez, or whether, you know what, we don't need him and we shouldn't, and he doesn't fit in at Liverpool. But I think, you know, I found the quote from Balaguer really interesting in that I think they realise James is looking for a different type of team. Does that mean he wants a team where he doesn't have to work hard, like Mesut Ozil in Arsenal? Or does that mean that he wants a type of team who's probably going to finish outside the top 4? Oh wait, like Arsenal again. I don't know, it doesn't sound like, or does it mean, he just doesn't want to work hard? That's probably what it is. He realises that in a Jurgen Klopp side, you've got to gegenpress, and James doesn't look like the type of fella who wants to gegenpress very often. No, I joke, like he's a really, really talented footballer at the end of the day. You know, you don't go to Real Madrid, you don't have a stellar World Cup unless you are, you know, a top draw player. Now, he struggled to break into that side, we all know that. But Jurgen Klopp is able to get the best out of players. He's able to get the best out of players who other people don't really think are any good as well. And, you know, James Rodriguez might fit in Liverpool, he might not. Let me know in the comments section below. But, you know, United and Arsenal seems a bit strange. I understand the United thing. They've got Jose Mourinho as a manager. They're unbeaten in how many games is it now? 22, something like that. They've just beaten Chelsea. They look like they're making a tilt at Champions League football. They're going well in the Europa League as well. Look like favourites for the Europa League. So I can understand the law of Manchester United, plus it's Manchester United, it's just a massive club. Arsenal, it's the London thing. It's got to be, because why would you want to go to a club where, all right, they've had Champions League football for years and years and years, but they've never really done anything for 10 years in the Champions League. They've not won a league title, much like Liverpool. They don't seem to be on the rise, is what I'm trying to say. Whereas Liverpool seems to be on the rise and Arsenal seem to be sort of decreasing in that regard. And it's strange because no one really knows what's going to happen with Arsene Wenger, so I don't know. I really don't understand why Arsenal. I can understand Manchester United, but Arsenal I'm a little bit uncertain of. I'm going to move on to Lucas now, a player who's obviously been at Liverpool for 10 years, made 341 appearances for the club now. Just been an awesome figure to have around the club, and, you know, experience both on and off the pitch, a leader both on and off the pitch, a guy who's been used in multiple positions this season, gives us options in our squad, if nothing less. We did a good 10-15 minutes on Lucas Leiva and his importance to squad and whether we'd give him a new contract on the Final Word show yesterday, which is out on the website, of course. Now, he's got 1 more year left on his contract. This seems to be up in the air. People are saying his contract runs out this season. People are saying it runs out next season. From what I've read, it's next season. You know, I've got a quote here from Lucas saying, I have 1 more year left after this, but I think I need to concentrate on the next 5 games. And he goes on, I have been here long enough, and if the time comes for me to go somewhere else, I think I will leave with the feeling that I did everything that I could. I don't really know what will happen. And then he goes on, so listen, there is no doubt about my commitment to Liverpool. I just need to wait until the end of the season, work hard and make a decision together with the club. And then again, playing time will play a part. I wouldn't like to just be around. I'm 30, not 35, 36. I feel I have many years that I can still play at the top level. And I think that's what most Liverpool fans, certainly I thought about Lucas Leiva, is that if he is willing to accept the position in the squad that he might find himself in next season, then keep him around. But if he's not willing to accept that, then to be honest, he goes with my well wishes, because if he feels that he's still got something to contribute and he wants to be in the first team every week, then Liverpool might not be the club for him. But I think he deserves it for the service that he's given us, for us to just go, yeah, you know what, Lucas, you've been a great servant to the football club, 10 years, you know, close to 350 appearances. You've tried your best each and every time you've taken the field. Sometimes it doesn't work out and sometimes it does. That's football. That's the way of life, you know, but you can't fault his commitment to Liverpool. You can't fault him, you know, just sort of steeping himself in the history of the club and the understanding the fan base and everything there. He's a model professional, and it looks like he's been great with Coutinho and Firmino and the Spanish speakers in the squad. So, you know what, either way, I'll be happy for Lucas Leiva. I'll be happy if he stays, and I'll be happy if he decides that he can get a good job somewhere else playing football at a top level. But I'd love to know what you think. Do we need to keep Lucas around? Is it because of the squad depth thing? You know, he can play centre-back, he can play defensive midfield, he can play a midfielder role if he has to. Or do you think it's time to cut our losses, and that carrying someone like a Lucas Leiva in the squad is actually hindering us because there's a space there for somebody who's potentially better than Lucas? So in the comments below, let me know what you think. Coutinho again, you know, not James Pearce, sorry. It was reported in the Liverpool Echo, forget who it was now, that was talking about Philippe Coutinho, and it's rumbled on again, but this is from the 15th of April, so it's a few days old, that Liverpool have just told Barcelona, no, it's not happening, and that's that, essentially, and because that's all I'm going to say on it. And finally, Anaki Williams, this one comes from, you know, the Atletico Bilbao player, obviously a young star in the making, really good player, one that might fit in at Liverpool very well, but rumoured to be a £50 million release clause, which roughly I think works out at 42 million in pounds sterling. Plays for Atletico Bilbao. I think we're putting this one to bed, to be honest. He told Tribal Football a few days ago now, why would I want to leave? I am at ease and I am where I want to be. I'm proud to be able to come here every day. Now look, that looks like a statement of a player who's happy with his current situation in life. All that being said, if Liverpool want him and Klopp wants him, you know what? I've heard firmer statements of someone staying somewhere and them not staying there because someone's come calling. Look, and if Liverpool decide that Inaki Williams is the player that we want in our squad, then we should move heaven and earth to get him. I'm just not so sure that we rank him that highly. I think like a Julian Brandt's going to be further up our pecking list, as it were. But, you know, again, good to be linked with these type of talented players. And, you know, I'd prefer if they're a few years on in the development, you know, more 24, 25, 26 than 21, 22. But we are being touted with some of the best young players in European football at the minute, and that is a positive because, you know, a couple of years ago we were a tier down, weren't we? You know, the Mohamed Salahs of this world were being linked, and Gaston Ramirez and all that, and now we're being linked to Julian Brandt and Pulisic's and you know, James Rodriguez and all these players who are clearly a cut above the players that we were being linked with. And that shows not only the direction that the club's headed in over the last few years, but the willingness of Jurgen Klopp to go out and secure targets that will ultimately not only secure us Champions League football, but keep us in the Champions League and competitive in the Champions League and the Premier League for many years to come. Okay, so let me know what you think on the Inaki Williams. So do you want him at Liverpool Football Club? Don't forget to like the video, give it a big thumbs up. It really does help us. Give us an algorithm thumbs up, yeah? An algorithm thumbs up. Love that stuff. Don't forget to subscribe on YouTube if you haven't already. We're here nearly every day with news and previews, match reviews, all that type of stuff. You know what we're here for. Subscribe. Do it now. And thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you on tomorrow's videos.